Rolling. Thank you for joining me on the third edition of The Ryan Black Show. Mad success already spreading YouTube. The sensation of me is catching fire. Appreciate all the people who have viewed me so far. Appreciate the people who are going to view me in the future. This is where I get to talk about sports. Today, I got like a smorgasbord of stuff going to happen for you. Lots of different things I'm going to talk about. I want to talk about the Masters, though. And I want to talk about Freddie Couples. You know, the guy has won one Masters before, 20 years ago. And he's leading. He's tied for first with the Masters at 5 under, heading into Saturday's round. That's awesome. I mean, that is like a feel-good story plus 1,000. For those people who don't really know a lot about this guy, Freddie Couples, well, you know, he's lost both of his parents. He's had a very difficult life, and he's a very likable guy. In fact, most tour polls that have been published that say if the golfer you'd most like to play a round of golf with has had Freddie Couples as that person, and I can understand why. He seems like a very down-to-earth, very likable human being, and that's the kind of people we as Americans like. We like the feel-good stories, and this is a huge feel-good story. So since I'm putting this up today, hopefully he does well, and if he does well, I'm going to actually tune in and watch a little Masters on Sunday, I think, because I like Fred Couples. I like the story. I think it's great. So I might get a little more into the Masters. Probably not. I'm just pulling for Fred Couples, man. You know, he's a good guy. I like him. Also want to talk about the start of the new baseball season and who I think you're going to see at the end. I talked about it yesterday. I said Roy Halladay is one of the best pitchers in baseball. But the Phillies team is different than past Philadelphia Phillies teams. So I think the first 20, 30 games is going to be important for them to see if they're still that championship team that they used to be. I think the National League is much more up in the air than the American League is. I think you're talking about one of several teams from the American League. You're talking about there's a group of teams. There's the Angels, there's the Texas Rangers, but they've lost a lot, and we don't know how Hugh Darvish is going to pitch. So again, that's a big question mark team. People always talk about the Yankees and the Red Sox, and I think Tampa Bay, you know, they're putting things together. So I've got 5, 6 maybe with the Detroit Tigers, with Prince Fielder and Justin Verlander. You know, I forgot about them. I think the Tigers have a legitimate shot to come out of the AL and represent the World Series. You know, this is a loaded team. They've got a great lineup. So there's another team to watch out for. But I think it's one of those 6 teams that you're going to see coming out of the AL. In the NL, it could be a number of teams. It could be the Cardinals if they get on a run and do well. It could be the Brewers with Ryan Braun not serving his 50-game suspension. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, you know, it could be a number of different teams in the NL. You could talk about the Giants or the Diamondbacks have a really strong team this year. So there's a lot of different teams in the NL that are in contention for a shot at the world title this year. But, you know, I really like the Detroit Tigers. I know I kind of forgot about them, but then I forgot about them and I started remembering them and talking about them. I really like the Detroit Tigers this year. For all those people, you know, who are haters and doubters out there, you know, watch this team play. They're going to turn some heads this year. You know, Justin Verlander not only won the Cy Young last year, he won the MVP award. And that's really tough for pitchers to do because basically Cy Young is the MVP award for pitching. So you don't see guys sweep that lot. Actually, hasn't happened since last year for a very long time. I don't have the numbers in front of me exactly, but I think it was like 20 plus years ago that has happened. So that's pretty amazing. And Verlander looked great in spring training, and all signs are that he is pitching even better than, maybe even better than he started and finished last season, which would be incredible for the Tigers. So I really like the Detroit Tigers this year, as kind of like a team I'm going to root for a little more than normal. They've got good players. They're a good organization. So there's a team that I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for a lot. Also, the Cincinnati Reds in the NL. The question is this going to be the year the Reds break out? And I don't know. The NL Central is probably the most wide open division in baseball. Because you don't really have a clear-cut favorite there. I mean, you could go with the World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals, but they lost their best player, Albert Pujols, who, by the way, in his debut for the Angels, went 0 for yesterday. I have a funny feeling that the NL Central is going to be a division that is going to be very back and forth, in an up and down race this year. So there's that. Another thing real quick before we get out of here for the day, I want to talk a little bit about the two situations in sports. Isaiah Thomas getting fired at FIU, Florida International University. Guy only won 26 games there in, I think it was 3 years, or was it 2? But he lost like 60-some, only won like 20-some. And he said, and I quote, "I was not expecting this." Really? Isaiah? You know, there's a great parody sports songwriter named Ryan Parker. He has a song called the 50-Year Isaiah Thomas Rebuilding Plan. And that's a really funny song. I enjoy listening to all of his work. But I think that song in particular kind of sums up Isaiah Thomas because he's a bad coach. He's bad. He's pissed because the university said they'd give him 5 years. They only gave him 3. So you can't be mad when you lose that many games and you only win 26 in 3 years. FIU, you made the right move firing Isaiah Thomas. I don't even know why you hired him in the first place, because it sure wasn't filling butts in the seats. So, interesting little side note there. And then a bigger story, the Bobby Petrino thing. You know, I just want to say I feel really bad for Coach Petrino. Jessica Dorrell is a 25-year-old female that he recently had hired. And apparently she was the one that placed the 911 phone call when he got into the bike crash. Now a full-fledged investigation has been bled in as to if there was any romantic involvement on their behalf or anything. So, you know, this is an ongoing, developing story. We know Bob Petrino has been issued a medical leave from the school and will not be back for... Well, we don't really know when he'll be back. It really all depends, I guess, on the findings and everything. When Bob Petrino will be back as the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. So that's something that we're going to probably be talking about when more information comes out on this whole thing. This has been the 3rd edition of the Ryan Black Show. You've got Ryan Black signing off again. Leave me your comments on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to me. Watch all my past episodes. Shoot me some ideas for shows. If there's a topic that you want me to dive into, let me know about it. Because I'm here to help bring my knowledge to the fans. So if there's something you want me to talk about, you know, let me know. I'm game for anything. I'll talk any sport that you want me to. Have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Again, there's an extended NFL Draft edition of the Ryan Black Show I'm going to be posting again here in the next week and a half or so. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be cool. Plus, I'm going to be throwing out live reactions during the NFL Draft with my webcam on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to record myself during bits and pieces of the NFL draft while I'm watching it, and kind of give you what I think of teams who have made certain picks or certain trades have gone down. So that's something pretty cool I'm going to start doing too. Let me just say I appreciate you viewing me. Have a great day. Let peace be the journey. I'm out.